Good morning, children. This is Seema Prabhakaran. We'll continue with our history, lesson number 3, the Delhi Sultanate. In our previous video, we talked about Qutbuddin Aibak. Today, we'll be starting with the next topic, Shamsuddin Iltutmish, 1210 to 1236 CE. Shamsuddin Iltutmish is considered the first independent sultan and the real founder of Delhi Sultanate. He successfully secured the support of the Khalifa, who even gave him the title of the Sultan of Delhi, making him the first legal ruler of the Sultanate. It was Iltutmish who shifted the capital of the Sultanate to Delhi. Till then, Lahore had served as the capital of the sultans. When Iltutmish came to the throne, he had many difficult tasks at hand. He not only had to suppress rival Muslim nobles and generals, but also establish his dominance over Hindu rulers who were largely independent of the Sultanate's control. He also had to deal with a possible Mongol invasion in the northwest. The Mongols were a fierce group of tribes from Central Asia led by Genghis Khan. Iltutmish introduced many administrative reforms. He also introduced new coins, the silver taka and the copper jital. He set up a group of 40 loyal slaves known as Chalisa or Chalgan. The construction of Qutub Minar in Delhi was completed by him. He also built the magnificent Qatul Islam Mosque. He was a deeply religious man and constructed a mosque at Ajmer. Iltutmish died in 1236 CE and was buried in the Qutub complex. Next is Razia Sultan from 1236 to 1240 CE. Before his death, Iltutmish had nominated his daughter Razia as his successor. He felt she would prove a more competent ruler than his sons. Chronicler Minhaj-e-Siraj also says she was more able and qualified than her brothers. However, the nobles were uncomfortable about appointing a woman to the throne of the Sultanate, so they appointed one of Iltutmish's sons to the throne. When he proved to be an incompetent ruler, Razia was finally made the Sultan of Delhi. She was the first woman to rule Delhi. Although Razia proved to be a wise and able ruler, she faced a lot of opposition from her brothers and nobles throughout her rule. The nobles, especially the Chalisa, did not like the idea of a woman ruling over them. They were also offended by the preferences she showed for one of her slaves. So they began to plot against her. They managed to imprison her and put one of her brothers on the throne. Razia married Malik al-Tunia, the governor of Bathinda, and with his help, she tried to reoccupy the throne. However, they were both killed. Next is Ghiyasuddin Balban. Initially a slave of Iltutmish, Balban became a very powerful noble in his court. He was one of the most powerful amongst the Chalgan nobles. He used to look after the affairs of the Sultanate. He seized power and became the Sultan soon after Razia. Ghiyasuddin adopted a stern policy of blood and iron to consolidate his position. He reorganized the nobility and crushed the power of Chalisa with a heavy hand, punishing them mercilessly. Some were even put to death. When Balban took over the throne of Delhi, the status of the sultans had suffered greatly. They were reduced to the status of puppet rulers controlled by the strong Chalisa. Balban took many measures to restore the status of the sultans. He exercised complete control over the administration of the empire and his large army. When in court, he kept a stern and grave face at all times. He did not even allow courtiers to smile in his presence. He believed in the divine status of the sultans and claimed to be the representative of God on earth. He even tried to emphasize this by introducing the practice of sajda and paibos at his court. All nobles and visitors had to prostrate before the Sultan, sajda, and kiss his feet. Ghiyasuddin died in AD 1287. After his death, the slave dynasty swiftly declined, paving the way for the Khalji dynasty. That's all for today's class. Thank you and have a nice day.